Hi, Fashion Dolls. Welcome to Style by Stevie. It is Transformation Tuesday, September 3rd, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Today's special guest is a 19 Indie Music Channel Award winner. He's also a 7 esteemed Radio Music Award winner, and he is also a Grammy winning participator. He won for Best Reggae Album. He is big in the world of fashion. He is a music artist. He is an actor. He is a fashion model. He does it all. He is the jack of all trades, Fashion Dolls. And I'm super excited to welcome him here in the doll house with me. Shout outs to my brother, the K2 Spot. So before we welcome our very, very special guest, I'm going to let you guys know that it is 64 days left until election. And if you guys have not registered to vote, please go and get registered to vote. We only have a few more days left. Time is winding down. Please pick your fighter because democracy is at stake. And I need you guys to please go and get registered at vote.org. Check your registration. Make sure you are set and ready to go to those polls November 5th. It is a lot that is on the line. Please don't be stupid. Don't vote the couch. Get out and get registered to vote. So with that being said, without further ado, Fashion Dolls, let's welcome our very special guest, Grammy Award winning artist, fashion model, actor. I mean, this man is the ultimate hyphenate. Ladies and gentlemen, Septimius the Great. Hello.
Wow, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. It is such a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to the
No, no,
dollhouse.
that's right. Thank you, thank you.
You are so welcome. So before we kick off this interview, how has 2024 been for you so far?
It's been an amazing year so far. I made all the goals that I set, and the new launches for different things has been going great.
Yes, and you have a clothing collection. You
Yep.
teamed up with the design and you have a collection coming out and we'll dish in that in the interview. But I'd love to start from the beginning of your journey. Now, you're hailing from Los Angeles, California. Am I correct?
Yes, that's where I live at now. Yep, exactly.
All right. And you've worked with some of the biggest names in the industry from, I mean, Patti LaBelle, Chrisette Michelle, Fantasia, Crystal Waters, Pat Benatar, Lil Mo, just to name a few. So before we get to that, let's start from the beginning. Your dreams and aspirations growing up, getting into the business. At what age did you discover the passion and the sound of music?
You know what? That's the funny thing is, like, I didn't like grow into this. This is something I kind of fell into. So I would say when I turned about actually 14 years ago, 14 years ago,
Wow.
I decided to wake up and say, I want to be a music artist. And out of no knowledge, no real passion, just wanted to just to try something new and to reinvent myself. And that's when it all started 14 years ago. Yeah.
And you've went on to write, as I've mentioned, for so many artists. What is, and the majority of these artists that you've written for are women. So what is it like writing for some of the most powerful women in the music industry? I mean, Patti LaBelle, Chrisette Michelle, Lil Kim, Lil Mo, Crystal Waters. What is it like being a male and writing for these women?
Well, I actually chose people who were down to earth, easy to work with, and able to tell the story. And those are the people who are like really, really down to earth and really gave people in the industry a chance, not just a name per se. So it's been an honor to work with people who are real, authentic, and hear you out and don't have that Hollywood, fortune and fame attitude.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now I could go down your list because I had to do my research for this interview. You've done so much throughout your career, and I'm looking at my bullet points here. 9 Grammy for your consideration nominations. Now I ask my guests this all the time. What your mama had to say about
Well,
it?
it's everybody was saying like, "How did you do that?" But I'm a good student. I'm always a student. Never, I never try to be anything more than that. So I was at an event and they said, "Are you a part of the Grammys?" And I was like, "No. How do you do that?" They were like, "You go to Grammy.com, you click on membership, and you apply." And I was like, "Oh, for real?" So you of course you have to have credentials and referrals and all that kind of good stuff. But I did it, and I've been with them for 8 years now. So I was on a ballot 9 times. 2022, I got Grammy nominated for 10 City Best Dance Album. I was really excited about that. And then in 2023, last year, I ended up on a Grammy winning project. With my vocals, I actually was a singer on Best Reggae Album. So that's and then this year I submitted it again. We'll see.
It's gonna happen. I'm manifesting it. I'm putting it out there. It is gonna happen. Now, from music to fashion. Now, you have one of your style icons is one of my favorite artists, and that's Prince. How has Prince played a pivotal endpoint and impact and inspiration in your style
And
choices?
you know what? You're right because you asked me when did this all started. Musically, about 14 years ago, but fashion started in high school. When someone would say you should model, I was like, oh no, I'm not modeling. But I tried it, and fashion got into it. But I end up linking myself up with designers who were like innovative, not like anyone
Oh,
else, one of a kind, and my style kind of evolved from a actual designer back in Baltimore, where I'm from, named Earl Bannister, who took like 18th century clothing and like modernized it. And I just kept collecting and collecting costumes and created Septimius, and it all fell together in that. So Prince, I like Prince, Michael Jackson, people like that, especially Prince, because there's no boundaries. There's no boundaries. There's no limits. Whether you like it or you don't like it, as long as you're talking about it, I'm good for that. Yep. So I love fashion. I love being unique. I love being out of the box. I love being questioned. I love people wondering and being mysterious or mystery about myself. If I could put that into fashion, I'm gonna put it on.
and how would you define your personal style? Because I went through and I've looked at some of your photos, and you have a number of looks from you hosting red carpet events to so many things. Where do you find the inspiration from? I know Prince is one of your inspirations, but for me, I find inspiration from nature. I find inspiration from just looking out of a glass window, an opaque glass window. It can be the most inanimate things. So for you, where do you pull inspiration from for
I would
style?
say from movies. I like old movies and history because I got
Oh,
this whole thing about Greek and Roman mythology. So I like anything, and then looking at the way they dressed back in those old days, and the clothing and the garments and
mm.
the whole over the top. I mean, I was just like, we need that now. Yep.
And what's so crazy is with style, fashion repeats itself. Looks come back over and over again. Thank you, Nali. Thank you. Yes, I chose polka dots today. Yesterday I did a solid black, but I chose polka dots today. I was feeling
I like it.
eventful,
Yeah,
bright, and
I
colorful, so I
like it.
wanted to do polka dots. Thank you. It's an honor coming from you. Now, you have a capsule collection. You teamed up with the designer, and you have a capsule collection coming out. So tell us a little bit about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so I took my style because everywhere I go on the red carpets and people are like, oh my God, your style is so different. Where'd you get it made? Blah 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 blah. So I decided they said you had your own clothing line. I was like, I can't add anything else to my resume. I am done. But I went ahead and did it. So I actually launched my clothing line on August 8th. What I did was I do a collective because I think that it's important to give other people notability and also the chance to do be out there. So my first three pieces were made by designs by RJG, who was actually Gregory. He was a more bohemian style designer, and what I wanted to do is fuse his style with my style, and we released three pieces on August 8th. Then I premiered my line in Vegas last week, and that was just phenomenal. I couldn't even believe it. It was just crazy because the way I do it is I perform my fashion song, and I have models going around me the whole time, almost like Victoria's Secret style. And I
Yes.
I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
And it's on perfect timing. You said August 8th. Next week kicks off New York Fashion Week. September
Mhm.
9th, New York Fashion Week kicks off. What are you looking forward to? And I hope that they debut your collection because when I went and I seen the behind the scenes photos, this is me. I said couture fashion is out of the ordinary.
Hmm.
And you give couture fashion, and you're a black man doing this because we know how the fashion industry, how anti black it is, and
Exactly.
how black designers always have to make a name for themselves in this business. So, what are you looking forward to being showcased on the runways at New York Fashion Week next week?
Oh my! When I tell you, this is just took off like a rocket. I got 14 shows in the next 3 months between LA Fashion, well, New York Fashion Week, of course, next week for Runway 7, and then I got LA Fashion Week. I got uh, Delhi, India. I got to be there in October. I got Milan. I got Morocco, Dubai, Paris is coming up next year in February. But it's like I just can't believe it. I like it because, of course, my style is over the top. But I also, even though I'm considered a menswear designer, I actually use my clothes to be, androgynous. So if you see my line, I think I posted something recently where in Vegas I had 10 pieces in it, but two of them were women in men's clothes. So because I wanted to be all men's skirts, I wanted all yeah.
Yep,
Yes, exactly, exactly. I want it to be all men's skirts and stuff that men and women can wear. It don't make a difference who you are, what you do. Fashion is fashion, and I
absolutely.
make sure my designs speak that. Yep.
And the thing is, fashion shouldn't have agenda. People should feel
Mm-mm.
free to express themselves in any way, shape, form, or style that fits their identity. It's
Exactly.
about individuality, and that's what makes people stand out aside. We're not all wanting to be the same. Everybody has their own individual style. So, my
Exactly.
girl
And
Nolly
it's
says your mama must be losing her mind and bragging about her baby.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because I've looked at men's fashion was over the top back in history. If with the wigs and the heels and the makeup and the long coats and cloaks,
Yes,
it's like somehow it became like men's not supposed to wear that. So I'm just going back into history to educate people. It don't make a difference. It don't make a difference. Fashion is fashion. If you want to, whatever you want to wear, just make sure you look good. Yep.
absolutely. And make it your own. Don't, and I tell people this all the time as well too. Don't let the clothes wear you. When you put that garment on, you bring that garment to life. It's you
Exactly.
that is the work of art. So
And it's so funny.
definitely.
It's so funny you said that too, because last week when I launched the line, it was 10 pieces, all had men's skirts and it long like skirts with cloaks and sheer and stuff like that. And at first the guys were like, "Oh no, I can't wear that." Blah 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 blah. I said, "No problem." Pushed them to the side. I said, "Let me give you." And after the line, it's like, "Oh, I should have put it on." Blah blah blah. I said, "Yeah, because you got blinders on. Take it off." People are here to see fashion, something different,
Yes.
and now they are superstars because you want to sit back and say, "Oh no, yep, it's you feel like it's taking away your manhood or masculinity." It's not even about that anymore. It's about giving somebody a show. Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. And Nolly says dressing for dinner and stuff, right? And men have now taken the plunge. I mean, like Pharrell Williams to ASAP Rocky. There's so many that step outside of the comfort zone of fashion. From Grownish, Lucas Sabat,
yep.
Jaden Smith. We're seeing a lot of men push the
You
envelope.
have
Even Cam Newton and so many others. Dwayne Wade. All of them. They're stepping outside of the comfort zone
exactly,
and doing things what you wouldn't see typically with men's
exactly,
fashion.
and there's nothing wrong with that, and it's basically just going back to history. Yep.
And Thomas says that your collection is incredible. It's already getting mad reviews.
Oh wow. Yeah, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. I just couldn't believe the because it's what I've been wearing since I've been on the red carpets and stuff. It just when I actually saw it on other models, I'm like, wow, this is really something special. And the audience like standing ovations, and I'm like, wow, I never saw it on someone else. I said, oh, I got to do more. I got to do more.
And that you have. You said during the fashion show, launching your collection, and you have a single out, I Am Fashion 2.0, and I've listened to it, and it's one of those songs that makes you just want to get up, feel great about getting dressed or getting in style. So,
Exactly.
what was the inspiration behind this single?
It's exactly what you said. I wanted to make a song where someone is getting dressed to go out, whether it's to work, to a club, or whatever, and you're looking yourself in the mirror. You're getting dressed, saying "I am fashion" to feel good about yourself. No matter what you can,
Yes.
if it's high end, low end, Target, Versace, it don't make a difference. As long as you're putting it on, you feel good. I want them to say you want them to feel like I am fashion. So that song is launched in it. I named all of the high end brands, of course, for marketing purposes, which helped it, to get where it is. But it's really about just you feeling good, getting dressed.
Absolutely. And this song is available on all platforms. The video is out also too. Make sure you guys please go and check it out. You have so many things under your belts from performances. I know you're going to be busy this month with New York Fashion Week going on. What else can we expect next from you?
Yeah, well, I got 4 films coming out too. I crossed over into acting and TV for film. Yeah, so I'm on coming out on Hulu, Amazon Prime, HBO, and Netflix. Those 4 platforms are coming out. One of them is out already called 30, which is a TV series that's out that I was in. That's been launched already. But if you Google Septimius or go to my septimiusthegreat.com, I keep all of the projects up there. I just released another Afrobeat song called Anything You Want. So that got released. But what I'm really proud about is I just submitted to the Grammys. It's not available. You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
You got to
Yeah,
call it, not Shoshana. And I get it. Yeah.
I know, right. Right. um, the one song I just released a song is called "Nasty Girl." If anyone remembers the Nasty Girl from Vanity Six, well, I did a response to that. It's not available on any platforms except for through my website. You got to go see it. It's about the nasty boy responding to the nasty girl, and that's the one that's been submitted for the Grammys, and that'll be out soon as well. And that's gonna be, I mean, that's one of my good works. Yeah. So between the TV, the film, the music, the fashion, I don't know. I'm
And
doing
I'm
it
going to
all.
go back. Yes, and I'm going to go back to the acting because people don't notice about you, but you were also on Empire. So,
Mhm.
what was that experience like? Because I think the show taped in Chicago. You had Taraji P. Henson,
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
had Terrence Howard, you had Jesse Smollett, an all ensemble cast. What was it like taping on Empire?
It was amazing to be a part of Empire because to have my scene of performing as an artist in a club scene, but also watching Taraji or Cookie getting dressed to I Am Fashion was like it was phenomenal. It's like I could not believe it because the show. To me, I'm so sad it actually ended, but it was one of the groundbreaking shows for fashion, for history, for nostalgia, for blacks, for everybody, and the music industry. It was just a phenomenal show. Great formula, but it was phenomenal. Yeah.
And Nolly says that her sister loved the show. I mean, and then the fashions. Cookie definitely bought the fashions, and that's the only reason why I would watch the clips and the highlights to see what Taraji was wearing on the show.
Right. I wish I was a designer back then, but yeah, but yeah, I loved it. I love the fashion. Again, it pushed the envelopes. It used history and modern, and it mixed it up. And no matter if you liked it or if you didn't like it, it was over the top, not over the top, gaudy or whatever. It was something to watch and look for. Yep. Hmm.
Absolutely. And how do you feel about the rise of up and coming black fashion designers? They're now stepping up to the plate in the world of couture fashion. I mean, you have Olivier Rousteing, Balmain, and there's so many others, a plethora of others. How do you feel about the rise of black fashion designers coming up?
I'm very excited about it because black designers have been around for a long time, but they all designed under the big names. So now we're stepping out and doing. So now to actually do our own creation, like Beaumont, like just got picked up by Disney, and it's like it was just like that's phenomenal. You don't have that opportunity for an unknown name. But I'm glad that he got the experience, or all of the black designers got the experience on how to do it properly, and then go out here now and become the brand themselves. I'm really excited about it because it was our creativity.
What is some advice that you would give to the next generation of fashion designers?
Yeah, well, I always say, definitely, I know we look up to a lot of different people. I think a lot of times, well, some people get cookie cuttered because they see someone else do something. Like, oh, I'm going to do something, but it looks really similar to that. So it's really important not to idolize or copy someone. It's really better to like try your complete imagination, even if it's weird, it makes no sense. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but if you do it, you become an innovator instead of a copycat. Because a copycat,
Yes.
you'll phase in, you'll phase out, you're gone. But if you bring up something new, like like Lady Gaga, she's a fashion icon. You know, it's weird, it makes no sense, but you'll never ever forget it, and will never be duplicated because it came out sheer
Absolutely.
imagination. Yep.
And be original. Originality is key with fashion. Find your own style. Some of the references, the women that I use that inspire me in fashion are Grace Jones. I love
Yes.
Pam Grier. I love Beyonce. I love Diana Ross. I love Diane Carroll. So it's a mixture of all of these women
You
I
said
give you
Diane
here when
Carroll.
I'm dressing this platform. Dominique Devereaux, Dynasty, my grandmother would watch the show all the time. And then as I grew up, I learned more about the show. And I would go back and look and see. She's had so many looks. So classy, elegant. I mean, just, uh, Diane Carroll was just the epitome of grace and style.
Yes, yes, and I'm so glad that because right now we're in the phase of the hoochie, the twerking, the
Yeah.
ratchet look and whatever, which is fine. But I'm really looking forward when old Hollywood comes back, and it's coming back with the big shoulders now and things like that. So I'm really excited about that because I like the class and elegance of fashion.
Absolutely. And we have a question for you
Sure.
from my girl Nyla. She wants to know, how do you get ideas from paper to garment?
You know what? One of the things I fumbled with because I like history and watching old movies and stuff, and I was like, "Oh, that's a nice jacket. I wish it would look good with this or look good with that," and change it. Now, sometimes my ideas are not functionable. It's just not. It's no way to really do it functional. But on a runway, you can make anything happen. It may not sell as a regular garment in a store, but that's why I stay in haute couture garments because they're one of a kind. You're not going to really see those copied. You may see versions of it, but um, what I'll do is, if you dream it or if you see it, just start sketching it. Like I said, some things like curtain rods or tree branches and stuff like that, it may not be really, really real, but you can do some form of it and you can put it on the runway to show. So, and those pieces show as a one of a kind. So I would just say, look at something, sketch it as best as you can, and then the whole functionality part of it, don't worry about that part. Let's just get it, let's just get the mold in first. Yep.
Nolly wants to know, what is the name of that song? I am Fashion 2.0, and I tagged Septimius's website down below so you guys can go and check it out and find out more information. We're taking questions from the audience right now, and then we're
I
going to
love
do
it.
our last game, which is called the Fab Five. And Septimius, being the fabulous fashion icon that he is, being in his presence, both of us being into fashion, we're going to do something called the Fab Five. And I know, being on the go, being a fashion guy and a fashion inspiration to so many men out here, you have to tell us five things in your bag when you're on the go that you can't live without.
Hmm.
But we're going to do that. I'm going to wait for the audience to ask more questions before we get to that,
Okay.
fashion dolls.
Okay.
So, do we
I
have
like
any
that.
questions for Septimius?
Hmm.
I see the
Yes.
original, but not the 2.0. Go ahead. I'm
There,
sorry.
oh no, I thought. No, there is original I Am Fashion, but there's also an I Am Fashion 2.0. So whatever, depending on what music platform you're on, just go ahead and put Septimius the Great in, and then you'll see all of the songs up there, and Septimius 2.0 should show up. If not, you can go to my website, septimiusthegreat.com.
She loves it. She said, OMG, this is dope. And she found it. Yes. And it's pinned below so you guys can go and check it out. All right. So while you guys are typing, we're going to get to the Fab Five. And I do this with all of my guests here in the dollhouse. All right. So, Septimius, you have to tell us five things that you can't live without in your bag that are fab to you.
Fab is in fabulous or must haves regardless.
Fab as in fabulous.
My newest thing is a scarf that can turn into an ascot or a belt. That's like that piece of fabric is like you could turn any outfit into something over the top with that. So a long piece of fabric that I use as a scarf, I do sometimes I put it as a scarf as a belt, or I do it as an ascot to get even over the top. I would say, shades. I got, I don't have any on today though, but I love a pair of unique shades, not just the ones that everyone's wearing, just something over the top, because that adds to an outfit. I believe that any outfit, no matter how plain it is, can be really dressed up with accessories. So I'm an accessories guy. Gloves, men, I put gloves on with a suit real quick, the match, make some color pop, shades, a scarf, and a nice shoe. And the shoe doesn't even have to be any name brand or any type of top brand. As long as it's nice and it looks good, your outfit, I say go the nice shoe, and that's you good to go. Was that 4 or 5?
You named them all. You named from
Okay.
shoes to your shades to the
Okay.
ascot.
Right, right. Definitely,
Nolly is
definitely.
going in the comments. She says, I need this for my radio station. Dude is inventive with his music. OMG, you have the best guest. Thank you, Nolly. And she's one
Oh,
of my biggest supporters. Yes, I invite guests on that have the same vision as I do because I love fashion. I love fashion all the time. Almost on almost every issue of Vogue and Harper's Bazaar there is. And I try to make sure that I also stay ahead of the trends with fashion as well too. But the key trick to fashion is set your own trends. Don't be like anybody else. We can follow
exactly.
the trends on the runway, but be original and set your trends as well too. And that's what I do. I try to stay in a lane by myself because one of my guests they asked me, who inspires you, or what is it like being in a lane where everybody's a content creator and they're doing the same thing that you do? I said, what sets me aside is my style. I try to dress for me. And how I dress sometimes is very avant garde, over the top. I remember one interview that I did with Tika G, I want to say last month. She's an actress, Tika G. And if you guys go back and look at that interview, I had eye jewels and I just went crazy with it. I said, okay, we're going to do blue. Let's go crazy. So I had eye jewels and all sorts of things. My hair was it was black at the time. So I'm always changing up my look. And that's what people look forward to is what is she going to do next?
I
So
love
I
it.
always try to
Yeah,
be ahead of the fashion trend and curve. I mean, I had jewels right here in the forehead. I said, let's go crazy. Exaggerated, over the top. Fashion is no
no
limits.
limits. Nope.
And you should step outside of your
Yep.
bounds, what you're not comfortable with. I say, give it a try one day. And if you don't like it, go back to doing what you normally would. But if you like it, have a party, have a ball. It's a whole party in my closet. I have so many clothes. I literally had to take some and store them in my brother's room. Like I have bags of clothes, and I'm always having to dig. So yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. I know that right.
I love it. You always look amazing.
Yes, you do.
I have yet to wrinkle my nose. And yeah, I try to make it so that you guys enjoy it. Like some of the looks that I bring on here. And we're starting to now, one more question before we conclude. Septimius, we're now getting, the months are going to be getting cooler. What are some of your predictions that you're predicting in men's fashion for fall 2024?
Well, the oversized look is in. It went from the tight fitting to the oversized. Again, going back in history. And I'm looking at for men because I'm going to push the envelope. Is I want, of course, everything in earth tones. I love earth tones, but every earth tone has to have a pop of something. So if you're going to do brown, throw lime green in there. If you if you're going to do shade of red, do all shades of red, including pink. Just mix it up. So I think that for my men, I'm gonna push the envelope on color, and pops of color. I want them to be in skirts, and I want them to be in avant-garde cloaks from back in the 18th century. I can't wait to
Oh
show
yeah.
those. Yeah, so get the because the women, the women flow, so I want to have the men to flow. Yeah, so now when we walk in the room, I want the coast to flow. We flow together. Right? So definitely for that. And then I'm gonna bring back the ascots. I like ascots instead of formalized ties, which is cool, but ascots are nice for the gentleman, and also always put up a nice glove to match your outfit. Yep.
And even for the women, they if you look at some of the designers out here, like they attach the gloves to the gowns,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like a whole ensemble, and it's beautiful how they combine it both together. And I've
Exactly.
seen them do it with leather, and it was somebody on the red carpet that did it. I think it was Beyonce. She did it when she was at the Grammys one year, and it was like this lime green. Her hair was swooped to the side. If you guys know exactly what look I'm talking about, her hair was pulled in a ponytail. She did the performance, and then she changed into something to sit down, and it was all like a neon lime green, and she had the gloves attached to the gown. So a lot of designers are taking a play from, like Septimius just said, from the 80s, and I love the 80s too. I
Mm-hmm.
love things that are over the top, over exaggerated, especially the shoulders. Because if you
Exactly.
watch Dynasty, you know that that was one thing
Everything.
that the women, the shoulders were high.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm so excited about old Hollywood in the '80s coming back now, because now the designers are moving into that look. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So before we let you go, Septimius, because this was such a great conversation, and we're touching on my favorite thing, fashion and style, because next week New York Fashion Week kicks off. What are some gems that you would give to people on finding their own personal discovery of style?
Well, like you said earlier, it's all about trying something. Just try it, see if you like it. If you get a compliment on it, or if it empowers you, no matter if it doesn't look like anybody else that you've seen on runways or magazines or the blogs or anything. If you tried it on and you like it, go with it. That's how you discover who your style is, and that's how you become original, and that's how you actually make it your own. I would not suggest looking at a picture of someone and trying to mimic that, because you're going to just fall right into the category. But if you now you can use a picture for inspiration, but just say to yourself, how can I change that, or how can I make it better? And that's how you become original. And that's why it's fashion season now, so it's all about originality. And haute couture is back. Most of the shows are back for haute couture, and I can't wait. Yeah.
I'm excited too. I can't wait to see what Fashion Week is going to bring next week. And I write for a magazine, Original Magazine UK, and one of the fashion writers there. And so my boss lady, she messaged me and she was like, "We got to get you on this article. We got to get on it." I said, "The runway shows haven't started yet. They start on the 9th."
Right.
So I'm super excited. I've seen the lineup of the designers that is going to be doing their shows on the 9th. So it's a lot. It's like you go to a buffet at a restaurant and there's so many things on the aisle, you don't know what you're going to expect or what you want to eat. So I'm
Exactly.
looking forward to it next week. So I always try to be ahead of the trend, and then I also try to incorporate my own personal influence in it as well too. So
when
amazing, great
when you come into
conversation with
LA,
you.
you should come to
I
LA.
would love to come to LA. I've never been to LA. I'm from South Carolina.
Oh,
And the
nice.
thing about it is down here, everybody has their own personal style too, but they're afraid to push that envelope as
Uh,
far as avant-garde, as far as couture. So for everybody else it's simple, but when they see it on me or someone else, it's just like,
right.
wow, how does she where how do you find the confidence? And
Exactly.
even my mom is starting to develop her own personal style. Like me and her both, I remember accidentally ordering the same jumpsuit as her. So I said, we're gonna walk around here looking like the Doublemint twins. And I wore it on the show. I was the first one to wear it. So I said, hey, I call dibs, I call shotgun. I got it first. So I already wore it. I have to find that picture and show y'all. But I hated it. I said I didn't mean to order it. It was an accident. But she got it. She said order it for her, but then I ordered it for myself accident. So I wore it and I liked it. So you never know unless you try it,
Never
and that's
know.
what
Yep.
style.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, you got to come out to LA, because they call it LA Fashion Week, but it's actually really 6 weeks long of just fashion shows every day. every
I
weekend
got
from the last week in September all the way to November. It's crazy. But yeah, you got to come out. Yeah, you got to come out.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. So before we let you go, let everyone know where they can check out your collection. You have the Adventures, the Unveiling of Modern Men, and it is out. Where can everyone go and check you out and check out the pieces? The pieces are gorgeous, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. You can look me up under any social media with under Septimius the Great, which is spelled Septimius, the Great. And that's on all social medias. But or if you go to my website, septimiusthegreat.com, I'll make sure all the links are there for all my social medias. The fashion collection, the newest 10 pieces I just released, that will be on a website soon. But if you go to TikTok right now, I think I put it up there yesterday on TikTok, and then I also gonna be actually posting it. If it's not in my story on Instagram, it'll be a permanent post on Instagram as well, and it shows all the 10 new pieces as well. So yeah, or just Google Septimius the Great. There's only one, but I'll pop up.
And Fashion Dolls, I pinned it below and I will have him tagged in this live. This live will be saved. This makes interview 671, so
Wow.
700 shows. We're working hard, y'all. It's a journey. We're going to get to this. Thank y'all so much for y'all's love and support. But before we close out, today's final thought ties into today what today's show was centered on, and it's fashion. Today's quote comes from Coco Chanel. She says, "Fashion fades, only style remains the same. This means that while trendy items may go out of style, your unique way of wearing them will last." And I'm going to tell you this, fashion, to me, trends always change. I want you guys to go in your closet, find your key five staple pieces. It can be denim, it can be leather, it can be whatever you like. I know for me, I like Sarah Jessica Parker from Sex and the City, Carrie Bradshaw. I love her style as well too. I have a tulle skirt in my closet, and let me tell you guys, because I wore it on the show one day. People was actually thinking that it was a ball gown, but no, it was just a skirt. And I pulled it up and I tied that ribbon, and it worked. Fashion is about making things work. Whatever you have in your closet, pull from your closet your key five staple pieces and make it work. And that's what it's about, Fashion Dolls. So, without further ado, I think we lost Septimius, Fashion Dolls. I think we might have lost him. Uh-oh. I think we might have lost Septimius, Fashion Dolls. If you're still here, Septimius, you can come back and give everyone your handle so that everyone can follow you. But in the meantime, the website is pinned below, septimiusthegreat.com. I had such a great show today, and I hope you guys did too as well, Fashion Dolls. And joining me tomorrow, we have Kendra Shanae. So make sure you guys stay tuned here on Style by Stevie. The road to 700 episodes continues. I love y'all, and I want y'all to be safe, fierce, and fabulous, and take care.